I'm going to be reacting to both the Rode VideoMic Pro and the Deity D4 Duo Mini. If you saw my previous video, you saw multiple audio tests that I took with both microphones. Now, the only thing that's different about this video is the fact that I have not heard what the audio sounds like. And having used the Deity D4 Duo Mini for such a long time, I'm really curious to see what the difference is going to be in the way of quality. Links to these microphones and the gear I use for my YouTube videos will be down below. The microphone I'm pointing to right now is the Rode VideoMic Pro. The microphone on my B cam is the Deity D4 Duo Mini. So my voice sounds very reflective, very acoustic-like. I do like though how up front the microphone tone is, how beefy my voice is. It's just the fact that it's such a boxy room. My dining room is carpeted, so I have that to complement the sound. So I don't know what to think. I'm not sure if it's because I used my Sony camera to record the Rode VideoMic Pro, or if it's just the way it just sounds. But let's move on to the Deity microphone. Beacon. I'm hearing a lot of white noise. I don't like that. My dining room is carpeted, so I have that. It sounds very echoey because I'm in a small boxed dining room. Plus my house is just small in general. So I'm not liking how the broadcastiness is not as present. It feels a little more spread out. I forget what the proximity was of my Deity microphone to where I was sitting, but overall, I'm not really liking the way that sounds. So let's move on to the next one. So this is using the Rode microphone in my living room. In my living room, and my living room is also carpeted, but it could show up differently on the recording, which I'm going to find out in a minute. But this is how my broadcasty voice sounds like in a small square space environment that's carpeted and has 2 couches and some wooden furniture. Okay, so again, I don't care for the noise floor coming from the camera. I don't know if that's a Sony thing, but my voice sounds pretty dang good from a camera mic perspective, so I'm really appreciative of that. I like the broadcast clarity. Doesn't feel super echoey. Honestly, I was expecting it to sound a little bit more reflective in that living room, but it sounded pretty dang good, or not terrible. So let's move on to what the Deity sounded like. So I am now in my living room, and the living room is also carpeted. However, it's a small square space. So at the moment, my voice doesn't seem to be echoing throughout the halls from what I can hear just naturally without headphones, but it could show up differently on the recording, which I'm going to find out in a minute. Yeah, I don't like the way that sounds. It's too spaced out. The microphone feels free. Ugh. The microphone seems really distant, or sounds really distant from where I am, and it's not even that far away, to be honest. So the directionality isn't that great, in my opinion, and I think the Rode mic did a much better job with picking up my voice, regardless of where the microphone was sitting. I think my arm was like maybe an arm and a half length away from the Deity mic, so yeah, that's interesting. Alright, this one is in the hallway, and I was using my Rode mic. This hallway really isn't that long, but what makes this a little more difficult is the fact that it has wooden floors. Didn't used to be that way, but this house recently got renovated last year. But this is the way my voice sounds like in the hallway. This is how I sound like a little farther away, and now it sounds really echoey, like I'm in a big chamber. Wonder how that sounds on the microphone. Probably not good. Doesn't sound bad. Then if I were to take a few more steps back here, you can just hear how my voice is echoing off the walls. My waveforms are just bouncing off, and it's just coming through to the microphone, but it's coloring the sound in a sense, making it sound unnatural. Notice how when I walked closer to the camera, the audio sounded a lot more clear and less nasally. It was becoming more broad. So I do like the way the Rode mic was picking up my voice in the hallway. Let's check out the way the Deity sounded. So this is what my voice sounds like, broadcasty voice, in a narrow hallway. So I'm not liking the fact of the noise floor again. I can hear a lot of noise floor with the Deity microphone, and it's probably because I raised the levels to equal the levels I was getting from the Sony. So I don't know if there's a differentiation there, but my voice sounds a lot more reflective, not as present, and so I'm not really digging the way that sounds. This hallway really isn't that long, but what makes this a little more difficult is the fact that it has wooden floors. Didn't used to be that way, but this house recently got renovated last year. So, and again, you're watching like a raw cut. This isn't edited at the moment. So, this is the honesty of what you're seeing. Yeah, not really a fan of what I'm hearing. And that noise floor just really irritates me. But of course, this is why we have audio editing software and why we do audio editing and post-production. Alright, this next one is in the backyard using the Rode VideoMic Pro. So right now I'm in my backyard and this is what my voice sounds like in a much more open environment. Just a few moments ago I had a lot of birds chirping. You can probably still hear them. There's a bird over there. That's quite loud. And yeah, this sounds really good. I'm liking, like, even if I wasn't a shotgun microphone or just like a regular boom mic, for a camera mic, this is surprisingly pretty dang good. You know, it's not super quality, it's not excellent quality, but it's better than if I were to use the Sony camera's internal microphone. This is just way better. So I'm loving the way the Rode VideoMic Pro is delivering the audio right now. What my voice sounds like with the VideoMic Pro in my backyard in an outside environment. Yeah, I really like that. Alright, let's see what the Deity microphone brought. And of course, when you're filming outside, you might get airplanes that fly over your head and make some loud noise. Of course, when that kind of situation comes, I don't know how I feel about it. My voice isn't as present. It doesn't sound as clarified. So, I'm not sure if it's the power of the microphone or the distance I am away from it. But I definitely prefer the Rode mic on this one. Alright, this is using the Rode VideoMic Pro in my garage. I have boxes over there, like storage boxes for different types of materials. But this is what the VideoMic Pro sounds like, probably 2 arm distances away from my A-cam. I gotta say, that is very impressive for being 2 arm distances away, still having that clarity, the directionality away from where I was. I thought it was gonna sound a lot more reflective and acoustic-like, honestly. So, very impressed with the Rode VideoMic Pro. Definitely great job there. Let's check out what the Deity sounds like. And this is what the Deity D4 Duo sounds like, about maybe an arm and a half length away from my B-cam. I don't like the way that sounds at all. Honestly, I really hope I had the microphone in the right direction when I was recording all these. So, in other words, I hope the microphone capsule was facing my mouth and the microphone capsule wasn't backwards. I have made that mistake before. I'm not a perfect audio person, but interesting. It sounds more reflective and honestly like it just came from my camera mic. So, I don't know what to think of that. Now let's listen again to the Rode microphone in the garage. On it, the garage is not meant to look pretty, but here's a window for your convenience, which is backlighting me up pretty nicely. So, not as much noise floor. Love that. It's clarified, directional, and my voice sounds very present. So, I love that. Really well done. But this is what my voice sounds like with the Rode VideoMic Pro inside a vehicle. And so I don't have the air conditioning blowing, the car is not on. Interesting. So my voice sounds a lot louder because the microphone is closer to my face in this sense, because I'm holding the camera right in front of me behind the steering wheel. So, but it's really nice. I just love the presence, the clarity of it. So let's go on to the Deity. And now I'm using the Deity D4 Duo. It's really hot in here, so I'm trying to get this done fast, but this is how my voice sounds like. Again, the car is not on. Sweat is probably dripping from my forehead. Okay, already I can tell. So the Deity D4 Duo Mini is closer to me, so my presence is more accurate, but I'm not liking the nasally stuff. Again, this was $68 on Amazon. It's probably worth a little less now. But the Rode VideoMic Pro, that's over $100 on Amazon. I, however, got it pre-owned for $100. I got a really sweet deal on it. It didn't come perfect, but it does sound a lot better than what we're hearing right now. The car is not on. Sweat is probably dripping from my forehead. The air conditioning is not on. And the noise floor just, I don't know, man. I don't know. Let me go back to that Rode mic. It's actually hot inside my car, believe it or not. But this is what my voice sounds like with the Rode VideoMic Pro inside a vehicle. So you can already hear that clarity, the beefiness, and just the directionality. It sounds really good. It definitely beats the Deity in my opinion by far. Alright, this is what the Rode VideoMic Pro sounds like in comparison to the Deity D4 Duo. It is connected to my Sony ZV-E10, and I'm guessing it's a lot more directional and broadcasty likes. That is correct. Wow, that sounded really directional. Clarity was good. It was definitely a little overpowering audio-wise, I think, but that's just because the microphone is a lot closer to me compared to when I was recording the other videos. I also have my volume on the computer set to like 52 audio level, so there's that. Now let's check out the Deity D4 Duo Mini. So this is what my voice sounds like with the Deity D4 Duo Mini hooked up to the Sony ZV-E10. Hopefully my voice sounds a little more directional. I know I have the microphone capsule set up the right way. Interesting. Okay, so here are my takeaways. So right now you're listening to the Rode VideoMic Pro, and right here is the Deity D4 Duo that I just used to record that video. I think the Deity D4 Duo Mini is a little more nasal. It has a more nasal sound or response to the tone of my voice specifically. It could sound good on another person's voice, maybe a female vocalist or another male voice that's a higher pitch. It all depends on the person speaking, honestly. I don't really care for the way it makes my voice sound. But however, I'm going to still keep onto it because again, I'm using it as probably my B-cam microphone audio. And of course, there's a thing called audio editing. I use that in Adobe Premiere Pro. Check out some audio editing videos on this channel if you haven't already. I'm honestly really happy that I invested into the VideoMic Pro. I'm definitely a lot more excited to create videos that don't necessarily always include my mixer per se, using like the Sennheiser 416 or the MKH50. But I can use the Rode VideoMic Pro for guitar tutorials and other basic vlog type of videos. So if you're a YouTube creator that actively puts the camera in front of your face and does talking head videos like these, then the Rode VideoMic Pro may be a great starting microphone for you. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video very soon.